What's up, everybody? We are about 2 weeks into Season 3 Reloaded, and so, once again, I have top 10 loadouts that you should be running. I plan to do an overall long-range, close-range video. I'm iffy on sniper support, just because people don't really snipe anymore. Sniper support guns didn't really get touched too much. But today's my just top 10 loadouts, so let's go ahead and just jump right into it. Okay, and as usual, starting out with the comeback loadout. This hasn't really changed for me. It's the DP27 and the Auto 1911. It's the same DP27 build we've been running as comeback. It's the MX silencer, the 680mm barrel, the hand stop, the 105 round pans, lengthened, your choice of optic, Empress VZV stock, polymer grip, hard scope, and fully loaded. You could really run any of your favorite primaries from Vanguard or Modern Warfare that have fully loaded on it. I'd recommend Vanguard so you don't have to give up an attachment slot like you would with Modern Warfare, but as usual, anything with fully loaded. And then I have the Auto 1911, which is the same it's been, the 1929 silencer, the Cooper full auto, your choice of optic, hair trigger, 45 ACP 24 round mags, lengthened, fabric grip, fleet, and fully loaded. Fully loaded is definitely important. And then this also serves as either my tempered or my restock class, depending on what I'm running. And then, as usual, perks, lethal, tactical, up to you. Just go over quickly. I'd either recommend Quick Fix, or EOD, or Cold-Blooded. Either restock, tempered, or high alert. And then either Combat Scout or Amped, maybe Battle Hardened because of snapshots. And then lethal, tactical, same thing, always been up to you. Sniping, I do have to include one sniper loadout. And it's the ZRG. It's going to always be the ZRG unless something changes because of those big nerfs to sniping. And it's the same ZRG loadout. It's always been Rap Suppressor, Combat Recon Barrel, SWAT 5mm laser, Bruiser Grip, and then the 5-round mag. You could drop the 5-round mag and put on the Airborne Elastic Wrap. You could drop the Bruiser Grip for the Airborne Elastic Wrap. And then I know some people would also drop the 5-round mag and put on one of like the 6x optic for a quicker ADS. As well as you could also run the sound moderator for quicker ADS, especially if you're using this on Rebirth. With that, I have the KGM40. You could run any sniper support. This is my favorite. This kills the fastest. It doesn't have the strafe speed of the Volk, and it doesn't ADS and move as fast as an SMG. But it gives you decent range, very little recoil, and a very quick time to kill when you build it out like this with the recoil booster, the rapid barrel, the hand stop, the 60-round drums, lengthened, slate reflector, polymer grip, the adjustable stock, gung-ho for an instant sprint to fire, but also consider acrobatic. If you want a little bit better recoil control, do go tight grip. But I'd go with gung-ho just for that instant sprint to fire, especially with it being an AR. Its sprint to fire is a little bit slower, and then on hand to help speed up that ADS. Although you could run fully loaded, but especially running in ARs and SMG, and you're going to have to fight SMGs, I want the increased ADS. Perks, lethal, tactical, up to you. Champion of Caldera mode. We do have this for another whole week, so I am gonna head and throw a loadout on there, and just in case it ever comes back. And this is a good solos loadout, but because you come in with loadout, this is the same DP build as our fully loaded comeback class, so you do have fully loaded. And I chose the DP. Once again, you could do any of your favorite primaries, but it just has so much ammo, so you could land in right away, start shooting people out of the air, be able to get in gunfights right away, and have plenty of ammo, plenty of shots, not have to reload. But because it is solos, you could run something like the STG with less ammo. Any of the guns that are your favorite primaries, especially any that are on this list, especially if they have fully loaded. And then I put the Type 63, which really is a best solos and duos SMG to use because the fastest time to kill. Does have the 36-round mags, which is the fastest time to kill in the game. But in trio squads, you can run out, so it's perfect for a Champion of Caldera because that is solos. That's a recoil booster, rapid barrel, hand stop, 30 caliber Russian short mags. I did not mean to leave Incendiary on there. Incendiary is not really worth it anymore. But either go lengthened or hollow point. You could go subsonic to stay off the minimap. Fabric grip, skeletal, gung-ho once again for that instant sprint to fire. But otherwise, acrobatic, fleet, depending on what you like. Could go sleight of hand because of the lack of ammo is another good option. And then fully loaded because in Champion Caldera, you come with your loadout, you want to hit the ground running. But you could get quick to literally hit the ground running. And then lethal, tactical, perks, up to you. Then we're going to run through 3 LMGs. there's other LMGs that aren't on this list, like the PKM, which is still really good, but you give up movement speed, ADS, or total attachments, depending on what game you're comparing it to. And so that didn't make it on the list. The Bruin, same thing. The first LMG on this list, though, is the Whitley. The Whitley did get some buffs in the Season 3 Reloaded, and it has pretty much no recoil, and it has a decent time to kill. It's really easy to use, really easy to control, so if you like LMGs, that's one good option. The build's the MX Silencer, the Gracie MK9 Barrel, the Hand Stop, the 45-round British mags, gives you better fire rate. It doesn't hurt your damage. It hurts bullet velocity and range, and bullet penetration, but it doesn't hurt damage like some smaller caliber rounds do. But if you find that's not working for you, the 45 is nice, just for a quicker reload. You could run any of the mags, and it really works. The gun has a whole lot of recoil, but with the 45 round 303 mags, you have like 0 recoil. And then lengthened, of course, your choice of optic, polymer grip. The CGC R4 is the best stock. There's a couple different stocks that work, but the CGC R4 gives you recoil control, recoil recovery, movement speed, and accuracy. It does hurt your ADS, sprint to fire speed, and hip fire accuracy, but this is your range weapon, so it's not as important. The other choice is you could try out something like the EM3 that helps initial firing recoil, because there's not a lot, and it helps your ADS, but it does hurt your firing during sustained fire. And nothing else helps your recoil at all, so it ends up being the R4. And then hard scope again, could run sleight of hand, especially because it's only 45 rounds, but hard scope again to help recoil control, and then on hand to help that ADS, but you could run fully loaded on it. And then I just threw that with that same Type 63 build, because with an LMG, you know, you're slower, you're definitely not moving around with it, so you want to pair something that you can shoot at range. And the Type 63, even though it does have kind of a lot of recoil, it does have the longest range of any SMG, but it's the same build. Perks, lethal, tactical, up to you. The next LMG is probably the best LMG on this list. It's not the fastest time to kill LMG on the list, that's next, but it is right up there, and it has the ammo, whereas the next LMG does not have the ammo. It's the same build it's always been. Agent Suppressor, Task Force Barrel, 3x Optic, 125 round mag or the Fast Mag. It does come with 75, so the Fast Mag is nice for the quicker reload, but I do like the extra ammo. And then Field Agent Grip. You could drop the mag since it does come with 75 stock, and go with like the Airborne Elastic Wrap to really increase your ADS. And then I have that paired with the Well Gun. Well, the Well Gun doesn't have a long damage drop off. With this build, it's got like barely any recoil, and so it's really easy to shoot at length. Plus, with the MG82 being a Cold War gun, it does have the movement and the ADS speed of Cold War, which is better than Vanguard and Modern Warfare for the most part. And the build I run now is the recoil booster, the short barrel, the hand stop. And because it's with an LMG and we might need it for slightly longer range, I go with the 40 round mag. If you're looking for the fastest time to kill but the most recoil, it is the 45 caliber 48 round mag. And if you're looking for somewhere in the middle, the 9mm 64 round mags doesn't have a whole lot of recoil, doesn't have the fastest time to kill, does give you the most ammo. All three of those options are viable. Fabric grip. If you're going to go with the 45 caliber mags, I would recommend polymer if you're going to use, and if you want to shoot this a little bit farther. Your choice of optic, remove stock, gung ho for that instant sprint to fire time, but acrobatics also a really good option, as well as frenzy if you're going to push aggressively. And then quick once again. The next LMG on the list is the fastest time to kill LMG, and I still think possibly the fastest time to kill in all of Warzone, and that is the Fin. The big problem is the Fin just runs out of ammo, and that's why it's not the best option. It's really good for solos and duos, but trios and quads you will run out of ammo, especially because you can't really give up an attachment for a magazine like you can on other weapons. So you need the Monolithic Suppressor, you need the Longshot Adverse Barrel. You have to use one of the adverse barrels, but this gives you bullet velocity and damage range, as well as increasing your fire rate, whereas the Harrier gives you better ADS speed and fire rate, but hurts your range, velocity, and recoil. The Pro Twist hurts your recoil control and your ADS speed, and then the regular Adverse hurts your damage range, recoil control, and only gives you that fire rate, whereas the Longshot gives you damage range, bullet velocity, and fire rate. Then Tac Laser for the quicker ADS, although you could drop Tac Laser if you wanted for one of the magazines, like the 100 round belt, and you will have more ammo, but you won't ADS as quick, and I just don't think it's worth it. And then Commando foregrip and VOK 3x optic with the T-pose. You could drop the Tac Laser for either a magazine Or you could do sleight of hand, since you're going to have to reload a lot, or fully loaded for a lot of ammo. But this is the build that I would run. And I have that paired with the Armawera. This isn't everybody's build. This is just my favorite build. Recoil booster, 315mm barrel, hand stop, slate reflector, SA folding, 9mm 60-round mags, lengthened, fabric grip, hard scope, and quick. It is a little bit bouncy. The 9mm 60-round mags do help. You could run the 8mm 72-round mags, but it does have more recoil control. It will kill a little faster. You do have a little more ammo, but it's a lot bouncier. If you're going to do that, I would probably recommend going with like the precision barrel for the recoil control if you're going to combine it with that mag. But I like the body 315, especially with an LMG, because it gives you less damage fall off, aka more range, gives you more damage and more bullet velocity. Perks, lethal, tactical, up to you. Now we're going to go into the top 4 ARs. You can probably guess what all of these are for the most part. The STG, and these are in no order, but the STG probably would rank the last on my list for this because I just don't like the 50-round mag, how slow it is to kill, and then the 60-round mag is a lot bouncier than the other options on this list. So it's kind of in an iffy spot for me. I know it's meta, I know it's like everyone's favorite, but it's just iffy for me. You probably know the build now, but it's the MX silencer, the 760mm barrel, the hand stop, the Garanko 50-round mags, lengthened ammo, your choice of optic, weighted stock, polymer grip. I chose acrobatic. Vital doesn't really increase your time to kill at all, so I do acrobatic or sleight of hand, and then on hand once again for that ADS. Then I have that with the Blixen. It's the same Blixen build that pretty much everybody's using with the recoil booster, the 9-inch barrel, hand stop, your choice of optic, removed stock, 7.62 rounds, lengthened or subsonic, or hollow point, fabric. I used Fleet here. If you're finding the recoil a little bit difficult because it can be bouncy, go with Perfectionist, but otherwise stick with Fleet. And then Quick, once again. SMGs don't really need on hand. Perks, lethal, tactical, up to you. Then the next AR is the Vargo. It's the only non-Vanguard AR on this list. And it's the build that literally comes on the Ferrofluid blueprint and the Meta Cold War build. Grew Suppressor, Task Force Barrel, Axial Arms 3 times, 60-round mag, and Spetsnaz grip. And then I paired it with the UGR just to be a little bit different. The UGR does kill pretty fast. They did nerf the Fletchits, or they did buff the Fletchits, so now EOD doesn't change the damage. And it's the normal Grew Suppressor, Task Force Barrel, Tiger Team Spotlight, Bruiser Grip, and Fletchettes. You could drop the Fletchits, although you do lose the time to kill. And go with the Spetsnaz or KGB skeletal stock. You could also drop the Tiger Team or the Bruiser Grip on this. The UGR is fun. It has a little more recoil than other SMGs from Cold War, but it is probably the best Cold War SMG these days, although it's probably the worst SMG on this list. And then the NZ. The NZ's newly meta. I think everyone's realizing that or knows that by now. It's a pretty typical build of the MX silencer, hand stop, 6.5 50-round mags. 40, I think, does kill slightly faster, but they're pretty much even. And I think the main difference is the 40-round mag drops off a little bit further, whereas the drop-off is a little bit closer with the 50-round mags. But I'd rather take the 10 ammo and extremely similar time to kill. Lengthened, your choice of optic, taped grip. Acrobatic, I brace, but brace doesn't do anything. Apparently it's not working, and this has like no recoil anyways. Frenzy's also decent, but I'd recommend acrobatic and on hand. The Lore MK3 SC stock ends up being the best. The Orb Weaver E-Pack gives you the most amount of recoil control, but it hurts movement speed, ADS speed, and sprint to fire speed. But this thing has such little recoil. The MK3 SE stock ends up being the best because it only nerfs, or it only hurts your movement speed and not your ADS and sprint to fire speed. But those are the two stocks to really choose from. And then the weird part of this, and that should not be taped grip, that should be polymer grip. The weird part about this is you have to use the burst barrel. The burst barrel has the best damage range, the best bullet velocity. It's supposed to be the Orb Weaver 360, but that did not get the bullet velocity buff it was supposed to. So it is the burst barrel for now. Just remember to switch that into automatic mode once you pick it up. And with that, I have the MP40 short barrel build. This has been popular for a while. It's actually become one of my favorites and something that I really enjoy. The movement speed's nice. The time to kill is pretty nice. And it's a recoil booster, short barrel, hand stop, 7.62 rounds, lengthened ammo, slate reflector, fabric grip, folding stock. Chose momentum here. Brace is also decent if you're having trouble with the recoil, but I don't think it works on this gun as well. So I would switch to Perfectionist if you're looking for recoil control. But I like momentum, the move speed after kills for when I'm pushing teams and I have my SMG out. And then quick as usual. Perks, lethal, tactical, up to you. And last but not least, this is the number 1 slot. Doesn't mean it's number 1 for everybody, but it is my favorite. It's also one I don't have diamond on because it's obnoxious, some of the challenges. But it's the same build as it has been. The MX silencer, the 30-inch barrel, the hand stop, your choice of optic, Chariot WR stock, polymer grip, hard scope. You could do acrobatic for this because there isn't a whole lot of recoil, but just eliminate the recoil as much as I can. I go hard scope. Sleight of hand's also good since it's a 40-round mag. On hand, polymer grip lengthened, and then it used to be a 30-round mag, but as I just mentioned, and I just deselected everything, it is a 40-round mag. I know this build so well, it only took me a second to build. And then you can actually see me build it out. Always make a mistake somewhere in these videos. I'm gonna need this as soon as I get off this. And that's the build, and then I have it just with the same Blixen loadout again, because the Blixen right now is the best SMG, and I really think that the BAR and the Blixen are the best loadout possible, even though I don't think there's necessarily any order. All of these are really good loadouts, all of these are within the meta, all of these are going to be very competitive. But that's my 10 loadouts. At this point, I'm going to probably put out a long range and short range video coming in the next few days, so watch out for those. But thank you for watching. I appreciate if you watched all the way through from beginning to end. You skipped through. Any watch time is appreciated, and so are interactions. So please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when I'm going to upload the long range and short range meta update videos, as well as any other videos I may upload. I may have one covering Modern Warfare 2 coming up, depending on what kind of information comes out in the coming days. The trailer did just drop today. But let me know down below what you think of my loadouts. Am I wrong? Am I right? Are these perfect? Are these awful? Let me know down below what you think. And as usual, I'll have all my social medias linked down below. I am working on finally setting up streaming again now that I got a new PC, so please keep an eye out for that as well. My Twitch is linked down below. But with that all being said, I will see you on Caldera and Rebirth Island. Get frying. Have a good day. Bye.